This is question 13. Here we're told that the points A and B are on the line with the equation y equals minus half x plus 4. We're told that M is the midpoint of AB, and we're asked to find an equation of the line through M that is perpendicular to y equals minus half x plus 4. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do is to figure out what is the midpoint of AB. So I know that the coordinate A is 6, 1, and the coordinate B is -2, 5. So to work out the midpoint of AB, I just have to take the midpoint of each of the x and the y coordinates. So what is the midpoint between 6 and -2? So 6 and -2, the midpoint for that is going to be 2. And then the midpoint between 1 and 5, that's simply going to be 3. If you're not sure how to work out the midpoint of two numbers, easiest way to do it is to just add the two numbers together and then divide by 2. So for example, 6 and -2 gives me 4. 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. And then on this one, 1 plus 5 gives me 6, divided by 2 gives me 3. So this, once I've worked out the midpoint is 2, 3, I'm asked to find an equation of the line through M, which I now know is 2, 3, that is perpendicular to y equals minus half x plus 4. So first of all, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to work out what the perpendicular gradient, so the perpendicular gradient of the gradient which is perpendicular to y equals minus half x plus 4. So to work out the perpendicular gradient, all that I have to do is I take the negative reciprocal of the gradient that I've started with. So the negative reciprocal of minus 1/2. So the reciprocal of a half is 2. And then I want to take the negative version of the reciprocal of a negative half. So it's going to become, from being negative, it's going to become positive. And then the reciprocal of a half is 2. So first of all, I've got my perpendicular gradient. So that tells me, and I want an equation of a straight line, remember, we're talking about y equals mx plus c. I've just worked out what the m is going to be. Okay, so I've got y equals 2x plus c. And now, so the m part there is my gradient, and I've worked out the perpendicular gradient by taking the negative reciprocal of minus 1/2, where the reciprocal is simply the number that you would have to multiply 1/2 by to reach 1. So half multiplied by 2 would give me an answer of 1. So that's what we mean by the reciprocal. And then the negative reciprocal just means that I have to change the sign from being a negative to a positive. So that's the beginning point of my equation. I then want the straight line equation that goes through the line through the coordinate 2, 3. So to work out what the full equation is going to be, all I have to do is take y equals 2x plus c and substitute in x as 2 and y as 3. So I know that when y is 3, that means it's 2 multiplied by 2 plus c. So just substituting 2 for x and 3 for y. And so to find out what my y-intercept is going to be, what the plus c is, I just now need to solve this equation. So I've got 3 is equal to 4 plus c, which means that c will be equal to 3 minus 4, so c is equal to minus 1. So my final answer to this is going to be, in the form y equals mx plus c, y equals 2x, the perpendicular gradient, and then to make sure that it passes through the point 2, 3, it's going to be y equals 2x minus 1. So final answer, y equals 2x minus 1.